Marvel Rivals has done what Marvel Comics could not, which is fix Iron Fist. Hey Internet, I'm Chris, and this is a place on the internet where I talk about comics, movies, games, and things I'm generally passionate about. So the whole internet and the gaming community is passionate about Marvel Rivals. It just launched a couple days ago. It peaked at 10 million players, and it's the game that people have been wanting Overwatch 2 to be, but has failed to be in so many ways. And it just reminds people of OG Overwatch, which is great with a Marvel skin. And with that success, a lot of characters on the roster have seen a surge in popularity. One in particular is Iron Fist. If you've played as a healer, or really anyone, you've probably gotten your ass beat by Iron Fist once or twice.
I'm done. Psych. Psych, pussy. Catch a spade, pussy. No bullshit. Hands. Just
Now, when the roster was initially announced and they showed off Iron Fist, this is not the Iron Fist that most people are familiar with. It is not Danny Rand. It is Lin Lie. Lin Lie was Swordmaster and became the Iron Fist in 2022. And the reason Lin Lie became the Iron Fist, and this is not public record, but you could imagine that the stink of the Iron Fist TV series, particularly season 1, and the controversy around Danny Rand being a white savior trope, forced Marvel to create a new Iron Fist, one with Chinese heritage, which completely makes sense. But what Marvel did, or what they didn't do, is really invest in that character. If you look back, it has been 2 years, it's 2024, almost 3 years, since that character was revealed to be the new Iron Fist. Now, let's count how many comics he has appeared as the Iron Fist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He got that limited series where it was revealed that he was Iron Fist, and that's it. And with the release of Marvel Rivals, everyone seems to love Iron Fist, or hate him, depending if you're a healer or not. And it just goes to show that Marvel, particularly the comic side, and to some extent the movies these days, has done a really poor job of setting up these characters that are taking up mantles. We've seen it time and time again. They've forced certain characters into certain roles without really putting the story behind it. And I think when they do that, it makes it very easy for people with bad intentions, grifters, and just even people who do not like, and even general fans too, like, it's easy for people to reject these things, and it's easy to build a narrative around a particular character. So, and just as easy as that was, as you can see with Marvel Rivals, is just as easy to build the popularity. Now, making a game that peaks at 10 million players is not easy, but having that ability to be like, hey, how do we spotlight this character? How do we do more things to really put this character in a position to succeed, versus being like, you know what, let's make this change. Let's make it a 5-issue miniseries, and then let's just move on. Which sucks, because if you read the 5-issue miniseries by Alyssa Wong, it's actually a pretty strong comic book. I liked it. I went back and read it as I was playing Marvel Rivals. I was like, I remember that being a thing and people being upset about it, so let me go back and read it. And I liked it a lot, and what sucks is that I liked it, and there's no more of him as Iron Fist. I think there's another appearance in maybe an event or something like that, but the book ends with a cliffhanger, and there's only 5 issues, which sucks. Like, it's crazy to me that they would sort of take a character, not that, Iron Fist is a billion-dollar brand, but it did have a TV series on Netflix, and it did warrant a second season of that series, which, outside of Daredevil, most of the shows only got 2 seasons. I think Luke Cage might have gotten only 2, and I think Jessica Jones may have gotten 3. I'm not exactly sure on that, but still. And Iron Fist has appeared in Ultimate Spider-Man. He was in the Disney Infinity game. So the character does have a lot of different appearances as the Iron Fist. Obviously more so Danny Rand. So you would think they'd be able to, once they made that decision to introduce a new Iron Fist in Lin Lie, they would put the backing of the billion-dollar machine of Disney to make sure that people accepted this character. And it sucks that they they just kind of left him for dead in a lot of ways in terms of how people accept it. They just saw the controversy, released those 5 issues. It was like, all right, you know what? Let's move on. Let's forget it happened. Eventually, we'll probably give it back to Danny Rand. And it sucks because now if you are, I mean, I'm in my 30s. I'm an unk. So like for me, like it doesn't matter much. I know who Danny Rand is, and that's who I sort of envision as Iron Fist. But there's a lot of young people who are playing Marvel Rivals right now whose first interaction with Iron Fist is a positive one. And to them, Lin Lie will be their Iron Fist. And now if they were like, you know what, let me, for Christmas, Mom and Dad, get me a little subscription to Marvel Unlimited. Can you get me some Iron Fist books? I'm really loving this character in this game. Guess what? There's only one trade out. And if you go into the Marvel Unlimited app, yes, he has appearances as Swordmaster in Agents of Atlas and all those kind of things. But as Iron Fist, there's nothing to be there. And I think Marvel Rivals did a fantastic job of spotlighting the character. They've done that with every character on the roster, with the design work, the style, the care that went into spotlighting these characters, something that Marvel Comics has failed to do time and time and again, especially when it comes to characters of color or even characters that are just taking up a mantle that had existed before. Like, it's not easy to do that. And they've done such a poor job in so many different ways for so many different characters that it makes it easy, like I said, for people to call it out or say that this sucks. Despite, like I said, the book actually being good. So despite all the controversy, I went back and read it and I had a really good time. I thought there was an opportunity to create a great series, an ongoing series of possibly Danny Rand teaching this new Iron Fist how to navigate. And then also he had his own history, his own past as Swordmaster. And, you know, there was a story to be told. There's magic, there's kung fu, there's so many different things that they could have really leaned into and been in a place where when he appeared in Marvel Rivals, where he's having his moment, you know, which could only be a moment because we know eventually he's going to get nerfed and he may not be as popular of a character in the game going forward. So it just sucks that Marvel was not able to capitalize on this moment. I do want to give a shout out to NetEase and the developers for really turning around this character and giving that Iron Fist, the new Iron Fist, a platform and doing what Marvel wanted to do, but did not really have the will to really push it over the edge in terms of making that character stick. And I think it's a lesson in how to really address these things. You know, it's a game, so most people, like, it came out, it's a free to play, everyone loved it, and it's separated from the controversies and the weirdness of comic book YouTube, and now this character is able to flourish. And I hope that they kick into high gear if they're smart and greenlight a series, hopefully a sequel series with Alyssa Wong, or a really strong creative team. You could get like Greg Pak or you know, some fantastic artists, you know, to really spotlight this character and make sure that this moment does not just stay a moment, and that their initial intentions of making Lin Lie the Iron Fist stick outside of this, you know, because I think they do have that opportunity. Not that I love Danny Rand. I again, that's the Iron Fist that I know. I actually like Ultimate Spider-Man, the animated series, which is, I know for a lot of people, blasphemous, but I love the the portrayal of Danny in that. And also I like Disney Infinity. I used to have the Iron Fist figure, but I just love that, like, idea of this character having this mythical, you know, power in their fists. And, you know, who doesn't love a martial arts story with magic and all that? I think this gives them an opportunity to rectify what they're wrong, especially since NetEase did them a favor and fixed Iron Fist. Now, what do you think? Are you a fan of Marvel Rivals? Do you like what they did with Iron Fist? Or you're one of those people that have been playing as a healer and been terrorized by Lin Lie? Let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace.